kind of off center for a moment here because I want to, hope you can hear me over the air conditioning. This is kind of a follow-up to my previous video because I wanted to show you briefly again, if you're having some mobility issues, circulation issues, there are, the best yoga poses can be done in a chair, and it's important to know that, you know, if you have a larger dosha like I do, that you're actually doing yoga, and because you can do yoga regardless of your dosha size, and so the very best poses can be done with a chair assist, and if you can only hold them for a short amount of time, that's okay, because one of the progressions, the important thing about yoga is that you get, you know, it's you progress as you progress. It's about you doing yoga, not about yoga doing you. So you hold that pose, remember to breathe as long as you can, because you will be able to, as you stabilize your core, you will be able to hold these poses longer. But those of us with a bigger, those of us with a larger dosha, you know, it's actually more beneficial to use the chair starting out, or if you're older, so that you don't invert on the floor till after speaking to your doctor about starting any kind of exercise program. But it's easier to attain your goal, and if you want to progress to where you can use a mat on the floor, then that's one of your goals. And so doing actual yoga, you're doing actual yoga with the assistance of a chair. There's a lot of folks who have done it for decades, have never used a chair, who would almost have to retrain themselves to you know. Is it beneficial to at advanced age or with some conditions? I look at it more as a corrective way for you to feel better, in addition to what your doctor recommends, as opposed to, I'm going to get in shape, it's gotten too tight to fitness, in my opinion, especially as you get older. There's some of the things you probably shouldn't be doing. So you can still, you get all the benefits of yoga, and props and assistance are a good thing. All right, so let's get warmed up. Basically, I just wanted to show you 3 of the very best. These poses are beneficial to all parts of your body, and regardless if you do them in chair, on a yoga mat, the grocery store, when you're under stress. Hopefully not. This doesn't sound very sanitary, but they're beneficial, you know. So mostly we're just going to, like I said, I'm off center here a little bit because I want to make sure that you can see this side of the chair okay. I guess I could tilt a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, halfway up on your chair, your back is straight. Your heels are in the floor. Take a deep breath in and exhale. So we're going to warm up just kind of so what I want to show you today. We don't have a very long warm up because I just want to show you your basic pose here. And you can take it from there. And again, if you research these online, make sure that, you know, a lot of people do it. Make sure you do what works for you. It's important to have a good, excuse me. It's important to have a good, make sure you're getting the, you know, yoga journal is very good. But if you go on YouTube, I would recommend using caution. Just follow me, you'll be fine. Alright, so we're going to do a spinal twist. Grab onto the back of your chair and hold here. The other side. Another pose that we're going to work on standing, after you know, we work on these seated poses for a bit, is a tree. Tree pose is really good free balance, and we can do that with the assistance of a chair. That will be our 4th pose. Come around to the front. Bring your arms all the way up. Stretch and stretch. As far as you can. Bring your rib cage up. And check yourself throughout the day. I know I've said this a million times because I have to do it to myself. Shoulders are back because that gets your rib cage off of you. If you have short, stubby legs and long torso like I do, your ribs can spend a lot of time sitting on top of your hips, which impedes your breathing. Come all the way down. Tricep stretch all the way over. Other side. And we'll go back into cactus. Bring your shoulder blades together, squeeze them together. Push the back of your hands back. Bring them forward into eagle. One elbow over the other, interlace your fingers and bring them up. Shake that out if you need to and roll your shoulders back, and then we'll do the other side. Pick one knee up, sit on top of the other leg, make sure not to stack your joints. Press your knee down just a little bit here. Stretch out your leg a little bit first before we do warrior. You can lean forward, keep your back straight and come towards me. This will stretch out your lower back. Seated pigeon we are. Let's repeat on the other side. Alright, I'm going to roll my neck out a little bit here. Several variations on the warrior pose. Doing it on the side of your chair, doing it on the front of your chair is okay. Doing it standing is okay. I'm going to show you a standing one, and then I'm going to show you how you can do them seated. Point one toe out. Go to a lunge on this side a little bit. Stretch your arms out. Look in the direction of your pointed toe. Bring your chest up. Bring your arms back. Bring this arm down to the back of your knee. Raise this arm all the way up and look up. Stretch as far as you can up. We'll repeat on the other side. I don't do warrior 3 unassisted. I'll show you that in a minute. Same thing on the other side. You don't need to see my face on this one. Okay. Like I said, I feel more stable on the side. Some instructions will show you to do it on the front. And again, it's acceptable both ways. This would be your lunge side. This is your back leg. Stretch it out behind you. That makes sense? You can also, like I said, would look towards the front, it would look something like this. You do get a better stretch kind of if you do it in the front. For starting out, you can do it in the side, it's also okay. Make sure this back leg is as straight as possible. Remembering to breathe. side. You kind of want to keep your knee right above, directly above your ankle. Drop this, bring your back leg back. You just can't do it in the other direction. Your lunge knee has to be facing out. Again, you can work into holding those poses longer. Now, if you're to do 3, like I said, I'm too old and beat up to do. I don't have the core strength, the balance, and the desire to ever do this without assistance. Look just like this here. Your chair can off the wall. Look just like this here. Let me use my good knife. Yep, people do that without a chair. Alright. Let's see here. Best way. Alright. Another really good one. For the whole body. Down dog. You will bring your arms, separate your legs as you need to. Bring your legs back. You're gonna hoist those hips up. Drop your head slightly between your arms. I don't really feel the need to show you this one on the floor because we all know what this guy looks like. Alright. Bring those hips up. Should be feeling this in your hammies and your glutes, in your back and your arms. Remembering to breathe here. Nice and easy. Before you stand all the way up, kind of check your breath and make sure that you're feeling okay. Alright, so work on your downward dog. You can also go right into child's pose. We know what that one looks like on the floor too. I can show you. It would look something like this. And whether you're on the floor or the chair, a lot of folks do go into child's pose from downward dog because it's kind of a nice counter pose. Kind of a nice counter posture. So to do your child's pose in the chair would look something like this. Your feet again would have to be, and hips are kind of away from the chair a little bit, and you would cover the seat of the chair from your elbows down. Bring your legs back and put your head down. Remembering to breathe here. Bring your head up slowly. Put your hands to the middle of the chair. Bring your hips back just a little bit. Arc your back. Kind of point your chin. Going into cat and cow. So as you arch your back, bring your shoulders will come up. Arch your back. Point your chin up. That will be your cow. You want to, when you go through cat and cow, you want to inhale on your cow and exhale on your cat. So our back is kind of, got a little bit of a, and your hips are up. Got kind of a pelvic tilt going on. Your hands are in the middle of your seat and point your toe, or I'm sorry, point your chin up. And if you want to come forward a little bit, if you're a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, and spread your legs, that's totally okay. Now when you arch your back, drop your chin to your chest. And exhale, round out your back, that will be your cat. And then you kind of flow very slowly between the two. This one's easier for me on the floor, but that's my job. If you do this on the floor, you would just be on all fours. Moving between the two. Lift up your shoulders, drop the lower back, point your chin. And slowly push up, round out your back, drop your chin. And go through those several times. Take your time, be sure and check your breath. Alright. All three of those basic poses are extremely beneficial, regardless of where you're doing them. Yeah, as long as you have correct form. So the last thing I'm going to show you, and this will be a progressive pose for you. It just, you can be really good at it one day, and the next day you feel like you're starting over. Again, a treat is an excellent one to correct muscle imbalance and improves your core strength and helps your balance. And I very rarely do this without assistance. So on a good day, but I usually just about always do this one with a chair assist. So your tree pose, as we all know, looks something like this. Let's see if Terry can do it this morning. Be in the prayer pose, and then we go up. Okay? This is your tree pose. Alright. You can always stay in prayer pose too, but alright. Starting out. Use your chair. Point that toe. Bring your heel to your ankle. That'll be your root for now, okay? Straighten out your body, Tara. This is good. We'll work to here. Some folks have been doing it a minute. Will bring their knee up. Bring their foot right here. You do not want to rest your foot on the inside of your knee. It has to be above or below your knee. So some folks, they'll bring it up here, but they'll start out here. All right. Well, what we're going to do, if you want to work into that one, bring this foot. You're going to bring your bottom of your foot right above your ankle. This will be your root. The root, where I'm from. These will be your roots. Alright. Right above your ankle. Stabilize yourself. Keep that knee pointed where you feel comfortable. You're in a prayer pose. Go above your head. Point your fingers all the way up. Now, to start out, this is a good place to start right here. This is a good place to start. Okay? That's totally fine. Right here. Do it on both sides. Move to the other side of the chair when you do it. Like something like this. Be sure to go to the other side of the chair. So you got the right side balanced. So, to work into that, we can do something like this to kind of warm up your quad a little bit. Go ahead and work on swinging this leg on both sides, and then work on swinging that leg without using your chair, because then the root part of that will come easier for you if you do this a few times. Another one. work on picking up your leg like you're marching till you get to the point you can balance on one leg without the assistance of your chair. But those would be some stretches to do before you start on your tree. You can also do this, which will warm up that quad. The leg extensions will warm up your quad. And again, work on these until you don't, you feel more stable. And if you're like me, you got a really bad leg. You got one leg, one side stronger than the other, which is why to do this. The left side will probably always need a chair. And as we've learned over the years, one of the many benefits of yoga is it strengthens your joints, which is really important because, as you know, especially your weight-bearing joints like mine, I'm not a small person, and my hips like to let me know that at my age now. So especially your weight-bearing joints. But the stronger joints, it also can help with your arthritis in your joints. You have some joints that have fluid in them, and some joints that don't have fluid in them, synovial fluid. And so some have fluid and some do not. So we're cracking, we're popping, as we get age. And what the yoga does is increase the mobility and the strength of the joint, the muscles and ligaments around them. And again, if you have strong joints, you have better balance, especially your weight-bearing joints. So that's your fourth pose, is a tree pose. Something like that. And when you start out this way, you almost immediately notice an improvement in your balance. The other thing, one more thing I wanted to show you too, if you have a sit-down job or you have mobility issues and you have that chair, and again, that chair is okay, right? That's a chair that keeps you comfortable, and a lot of times that's the only chair that you're comfortable in. When I talk about that chair, I'm not, you have to. You also can't walk around in unbearable pain. You have the chair that works for your body. And so, when you're sitting there at night or whatever during the day and stuff, you can work on even sitting down. As long as your body is moving, that's the main thing. You can work those joints even when you're sitting. Even if it's, you can bounce a little bit. You can tap your toes. I just did a thing about toes and I forgot to mention two different things about the toes, so now I gotta go back and do another video about toes part 2. You can tap your toes. You can shake your feet out. We don't think to do that. But actually shaking out your arms and your legs releases a lot of negative energy out of you, negative stuff in general, I think. But those are some of the basic poses. In our next episode, there's a couple more that I want to show you, and then we can go. To a full. We can go to a full sequence, which you probably don't even need me for, but you can do it at home. That way you can get, your poses down to when you do them at home. Unless it's one of your goals, when you think of yoga classes, a lot of people think of bar or burn, but there are classes like this one. So. And I hope some of this helps. Just remember though, like I said, when you're in that chair, as long as you're moving something. And remember too, you're doing actual yoga, you're on a good path, you notice almost an immediate difference. And combined with the other stuff that you're working on in your lifestyle, and following the doctor's orders and stuff like that, it's a nice building block. It's a nice kind of supplement. It's about you doing yoga, the yoga that fits you, and not yoga doing you. Like I said, we're not here to stand on our head, we're here to improve your health. So